Archaeologists have confirmed an image of a sailing ship painted at a rock shelter in West Arnhem Land is Australia's oldest dated contact art. The painting was dated as part of research into relationships between Southeast Asian seafarers and Aboriginal people in the 17th and 18th centuries. The project builds on the work of retired researcher Campbell McKnight, who returned to the Territory this week to revisit the Arnhem Land coast and find out what other archaeologists are uncovering. Emma Masters reports.
Archaeologist Campbell McKnight is returning to Arnhem Land for the first time in more than 40 years. He worked here at Anuru Bay in the 1960s, studying a bygone era when macassars sailed from the island of Sulawesi to Australia's north coast to fish for trepang, a highly prized delicacy in parts of Asia.
Trepang was Australia's first modern industry. The first thing that Australia had, which the rest of the world wanted. If we can re-identify the stone lines, then we can match what's on the ground now to the map I made in 1966, 1967.
Carrying maps of his original excavations, McKnight is assisting a new group of archaeologists as they delve into Australia's maritime history and trace Aboriginal people's first contact with the rest of the world.
Well, maybe we're overshooting a bit, but let's keep going.
Indigenous people in this area and right across northern Australia actually had very sophisticated knowledge about the outside world well before Europeans arrived in Australia.
This is the moment when the cultures meet and, as we know to a large extent, collide.
Let me grab the other side, Fenya.
The team of archaeologists is searching for evidence of Macassar and Indigenous occupation.
Well, we're looking for charcoal, earthenware, Chinese tradeware, Indigenous stone tools like stone points, axe heads, grinding stones.
At the height of the ancient trepang trade, large fleets of Macassan ships would sail to Arnhem Land and stay for the entire monsoon season. Anuru Bay is believed to be one of their favourite locations to fish and process trepang. Lines of stone fireplaces were set up to cook their catch and prepare it for the trip home.
Well, the fireplaces here, with big boiling cauldrons there, maybe 5 or 6 of them up the hill, and when they'd cooked the trepang enough, they'd come up the hill, and up here there was a smokehouse where they would dry it and smoke it.
That's a bit of shell.
What shell? Oh, there's a bit of pottery too.
Yeah, we've got 2 pieces there.
The excavations are also uncovering stone artefacts.
Well, this is the first time we found an Indigenous stone tool in the Anuru Bay Macassan site. So this is one step closer to us seeing that there might have been a greater level of Indigenous and Macassan interaction actually on the site here.
The archaeologists are also looking to rocky shelters and outcrops on the coast and further inland to gather evidence. They say rock art paints another picture which builds on information gleaned from written records and oral history.
Above all, you see pictures of their ships. You sometimes see pictures of their huts. This is a kris, one of those big Indonesian knives or swords. So here's the blade. It has a huge steel blade, and then this is the handle.
It's this artwork that's challenging a theory that Macassars didn't come to Australia until the late 18th century.
Oh, here we have an image of a Macassan prow. And how we can
Beeswax pellets stuck on top of this painting have been carbon dated, and the dates show contact may have occurred more than 100 years earlier than previously thought.
We got a result of between 1624 and 1674, and that's much earlier than we expected. Everyone was very excited when we got this result because it suggested that people were visiting Australia's northern shores much earlier than we thought.
I'm pretty confident that we're looking at an earlier phase of people visiting the Northern Territory, and we have what you would call an early depiction of a Macassan prow.
But Campbell McKnight isn't convinced.
Maybe there's some problem with the dating of the beeswax. I don't know. I don't pretend to know. But you cannot argue with the very good historical evidence about the beginning of the treeping industry. And we know that in, let's say, 1630, we have superb sources which do not mention treeping at all.
It may well be that the Macassan tree-panging industry didn't start until much later, as Campbell McKnight argues, but there were sporadic visits by Macassans, Malays, other groups prior to that, and what this image captures is one of those earlier events.
The same colour?
But what's not being contested is the long history of cultural exchange between Aboriginal people from Arnhem Land and their northern neighbours.
Well, you can see here in this painting in white is clearly a monkey. So what this shows is that local Indigenous people have gone off to Indonesia and seen these scenes, and they've come back here. They've seen monkeys. There's no monkeys in Arnhem Land, but they've seen them when they've travelled to Indonesia, and they've come back here and told the story by painting them on the walls of the caves.
The archaeologists say their work here is not finished, and this site still has a lot to teach us.
Macassans were allowed to stay here because they achieved a certain level of negotiation and come to an agreement. So I think we can learn some lessons from how Macassans and Aboriginal people interacted and how they resolved their conflicts.